folks, why are you supporting Joe Biden? This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I make a video or go live. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel and comment on this video. Let's get into this. So the Shade Room. For those of you who don't know what the Shade Room is, it's a black-owned organization. They have their information on the Instagram. That's where I see it from. And it's pretty much a gossip channel. Anything that goes on that's prevalent to the black community or black people want to comment on it, if it's black issues or not, it's on the Shade Room. If you ever go on the Shade Room, you're going to find out two very important things. You're going to find out what black people care about, and you're going to find out how racist some black people are. And there is a few black people on there that I believe are very intelligent and they give good insight. Joe Biden decided to go on with the Shade Room. I think it's kind of ironic that no Republicans have ever probably gone on the Shade Room and done an interview. I haven't seen one. If you saw the interview or you've seen the interview, let me know. I ain't seen one. Just like every other black platform, they don't do nothing but put Democrats on there. But I'll say that for another video. Joe Biden goes to a cafe and talks to a young lady, and they go over issues in the black community and questions that black people have for Joe Biden. I'm getting ready to destroy everything that he said in his pandering attempt to black folks. And this girl should be ashamed of herself for not pushing back on the BS that he said. Let's watch this video together. I'm gonna play it. We're gonna go over it step by step. Let's go.
Thing that became a very big topic of discussion last year in 2019. It was 400 years since slavery had started in the US, and people were thinking that, hey, America might give black people reparations.
First of all, most black people understand that it's not a legitimate idea to do reparations. Maybe back then it was legitimate, but you're talking about reparations today? Only way that reparations will make sense today is if they cut black people from having to pay taxes for I don't know how long. Because right now, as it stands, black folks pay taxes and the government is going to give reparations. So pretty much you're going to give us our money back. And then also, let me make this fact known. There were black people owned slaves as well. So how then are you going to calculate those people? 60% of white people who live in America today, they came after slavery. So how then are you going to force a population of people to pay taxes to benefit a people that you don't even know whether they had lineage of slavery or not? And the people who paying, you don't know if they were responsible or not. Come on, man. Let's finish watching this.
I support us going out and doing the study that studies whether or not, what is the nature of reparations and whether there should be cash payments, what should happen.
You see that he's not saying, I support reparations. I support studying to figure out. It's 400 years after slavery. What do you need to figure out? What do you need to still study? This is a key element of lying to you, to pander to get your vote. Let's finish.
We know there's systemic racism in education. We know there's systemic racism in lending. We know there is systemic racism in housing.
Now you see how they jump straight to racism, right? There's no accountability. They're not saying anything about what black people are doing. They're not talking about black excellence. They're not talking about nothing. They jump straight to racism. Now I want you to listen to the stupid example that Joe Biden gives, and he expects every black person to be dumb enough to fall for this.
For example, if on one side of the street over here it's a white neighborhood and you have a house, the exact same house on the other side, which is black neighborhood, same exact house, same condition, the one on the black side of the street is going to be valued at less money than the one that's valued on the other.
Bought a house, sold my house, I made a tremendous profit. So what black people, right in the comment section, if you're a black person, that somehow your mortgage is different because you black. Right in the comment section. I want to know you. I want to pursue a lawsuit with you. Come on, man. Come on. How many people believe that? You telling me that there's a house on one side of the street that's black, and then there's a house on the other side of the street that's owned by white people, and some investor, or not investor, somebody who's appraising the house are going to appraise it lower just because the person is black that live in the house. Not including the conditions of the house, not including the crime in the area, none of that. Because you black, the appraiser is going to appraise your house for lower. Now, let me listen to this. Let's think about this for a minute. Because these people are completely lying to you. If a black house appraised for less, just think about this for a minute. If a black house appraised for less then that means a white person will go into that house and purchase the house, right? Because if it's just color, a white person go purchase the house, they appraised it for less, therefore they had to pay less for it. But then when it's time to sell, the white person can sell it for triple the amount because now that a white person is in the house is somehow going to be appraised and worth more. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Let's finish.
Other side of the street. You live in an African-American neighborhood, your car insurance without any violation, without anything having happened to you. Same car in another neighborhood, you're going to pay a higher insurance rate.
Now, does that have to do with being black? Or that has to do with the neighborhood you live in? How is that racism? Nobody's telling you. This is how insurance is calculated. Because I had to pay more insurance in Phoenix, Arizona than I do in Tucson. Is it racist? No, it's not. It's because they calculate intimate details that will determine how much you pay. So for instance, if there's a high accident rate in your community, then your insurance is going to be higher. The age of the population of people in your community will make the insurance higher. If you are traveling more, if there's other adversities, if people are getting tickets more, if there's more things that are going on that they calculate how high your insurance is, then that's what it's going to be. They don't sit there and say, well, this is a black person, but a white person live in that same neighborhood, or a Hispanic person live in that same neighborhood, and somehow we're going to make the black people pay this, and then that one white person that live here, they're going to pay the white rate. That's stupid.
Now, that 1994 crime bill that you wrote is being discussed 26 years later because many people believe that it resulted in the incarceration of millions of black and brown people. We just want to know, what was your intention behind that bill, and what does criminal justice reform look like for you in 2020?
I find it very interesting how soft she is on that question. It's not confrontational or nothing. It's not accusational or nothing. They don't accuse him of nothing. They just, soft pitch it. Now listen to what he says.
Number one, years ago, that bill, you know who supported it? The Black Caucus.
Okay.
Every major black city mayor.
This is cheap.
Every mayor who was African American. It also.
So because every black person supported it, make it right. Okay.
Also had the assault weapons ban. I was able to eliminate assault weapons. I'm the only guy that's ever been able to get that done. Thirdly, it also had, you could not have these massive clips where you can put 100 bullets in one, hook it to one gun and you fire 100 shots. And that's what I wrote, and it was very, very, very important to begin to try to change the culture of how women are treated in America. I think I put in that bill drug courts, which meant that anybody who's convicted of a crime that has to do with a drug should not be going to prison.
Beating around the bush. I can't listen to any more of it. Never got to the point, and she never pressed him on it. Let's get to the next one.
Black women are 3.5 times more likely to die from childbirth-related issues than white women, and 12 times as likely to die in New York City than white women. And we see that this health system is biased against black women. We know it's not just an economic issue because even Serena Williams, for example, she was in Beverly Hills at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, and the same thing almost happened to her. She could have lost her life because of a blood clot that was in her lungs. Doctors kind of dismissed her. Is there a specific plan to address these alarming childbirth mortality rates among black women?
Yes, there are. Number one.
Here's my thing, man. You're going to make a statement to say the system is against black women. Everything is victim related. Everything is victim related. Oh, because I'm black, the doctors somehow want to treat me differently. What about the black doctors that are out there? What about doctors who are Indian? What about doctors who are Hispanic? Like every doctor is a racist white person. That makes no sense. And the health system is racist. The insurance company is racist. The mortgage company is racist. Not one time do you hear them address any accountability between people. White women get better service at the hospital than black women. And that's only because of race, not because of previous health conditions, not because of funding, not because of education, not because of geographical location. It's just because of race. These people irk me. Now listen to what Joe Biden said.
So it's early detection, early health care. In addition to that is once you're in the system, that you are in fact having a system where they finally set up in California, where they track the success or failure of dealing with black and white women. And so they are able to go back and say, the reason this is happening is because of boom, because
Now, what exactly are they tracking and what exactly have they changed? Show me. If there is a black woman that didn't get the services that she needed, that's called racism. That's prejudice in performance. You should be, your license should be taken away. Show me that doctor and that doctor should be fired. But they can never show you somebody because the stuff don't exist. Just like Thomas Sowell said, just because there's discrimination or disparities doesn't mean there's discrimination. Just because there are disparities doesn't mean that there's discrimination. Just because if you look at color, these things there's disparities between the two, don't mean that it's got everything to do with race. There's a ton of other factors that go into medical treatment. And I would argue to research if this is even true. Is this even true, or are they just making this up like they always do? Anyway, let's keep watching. Let's go to the next point.
Our roommates love weed, and they want to know why you don't fully support legalization.
And why is this a question anyway? Out of the few questions you can ask a presidential candidate, you bring up weed? You don't bring up schools. You don't bring up gun violence. You don't bring up what they're going to do about young entrepreneurs. What you're going to do about the economy. You know, how are you going to help people who are out of prison? How are you going to help them be more successful? What are you going to do about their criminal record? What are you going to do about the culture? They don't ask you about none of that. They want to talk about racism and weed.
When you talk about marijuana, everybody said Biden says it's a gateway drug. I don't think it's a gateway drug. I think we should totally decriminalize the use of marijuana, the possession of marijuana. Not only decriminalize it, if you have ever been convicted of anything having to do with marijuana possession or use, your record gets wiped clean. And by that I mean, you will legally be able to say if you were arrested and if you were put in prison, that guess what, when you do a job application, if you've ever been arrested or in prison, you can legally say no. When I say wiped clean, I mean wiped clean, and be entitled to every program that's available to help people move forward. This is where it gets confused. There are some scientists who say it may have an impact on mental health for some people. I don't think we should criminalize it at all, but we should at least study it. Science makes a difference.
Now, roomies, regardless of which candidate you want to win the election, just make sure you get out and vote.
Now, I have my opinions about marijuana. I don't know, again, why are we talking about marijuana? We should do research. We should decriminalize it. No, man, you should follow the law. You should follow the doggone law. It's not that hard. Why have I never been arrested for marijuana? Except when I was 8 years old. Because I quit smoking it. I quit using it. It was against the law. It's not like I need it. I'm grown now. I can smoke marijuana, but I do not want to. Why? Because it's illegal. Why do the government have to change? All I have to do is follow the law. When the law changes and it's legal, then I can smoke. You shouldn't get your record clean because you were breaking the law and somehow now they've changed. That doesn't make any sense. Now are you going to retro every law? Is the family of everybody who was electrocuted in a chair, now that we do lethal injection, are they going to get some payout? Come on, man. Come on, bro. Y'all, we need to stop being silly. Now, that concludes their little short interview. I'm hoping that there's more to that. It just bothers me, the questions that were asked, the questions that were posed to him. No pushback, nothing. They said nothing about his son. They said nothing about him being friends with a known racist. They said nothing about anything crucial about Joe Biden. Why he's been in the Senate for, 30-some years and have done nothing. Why him and Obama didn't do nothing for black people. None of those questions came up. None of them. They asked them dumb questions. But this is what some black people do, and they give them the opportunity to just tell you what you want to hear with that no pushback. It's a shame. Y'all let me know what you think about this video. What are you thinking? Write in the comment section. Is this absolutely ridiculous or B. Tatum tripping? Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. Y'all know what that is. Visit the Officer Tatum store where you get all the cool merch. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.